Introducing the DRF Cash Grab app, the super easy, free-to-play sports predictor game from a name you know and trust. The Daily Racing Form. Use your sports knowledge to predict the winners, and you could score thousands of dollars in cash prizes. Pro football, college football, pro basketball, college basketball, hockey, soccer, boxing, baseball, and more. Compete against others for a spot on the monthly leaderboard. Download the DRF Cash Grab app and play today.
Welcome into DRF Daily, DRF Sportsbook's betting live stream coming at you each and every day that there is football. But I'm here to say we will be away for the next couple of days as I'll be out on PTO. So there is no Friday, Saturday, or Sunday live stream coming at you guys. So this is what we got. We're going to break down Thursday Night Football today, and then we're going to dive into the FIFA World Cup, talk a little bit about the USA-Wales game that's coming at you on November 21st. I believe kickoff's at 2 p.m. Eastern, but that's where we're going to kind of take this DRF Daily, this Thursday edition of DRF Daily into it. Before we get any further, as a reminder, follow us on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, anywhere there's social media. Check us out at DRF Sportsbook. But let's dive right into it. We have a fantastic play for the Titans-Packers game. We have an awesome player prop that I'm really excited about. And then we're going to dive deep into USA-Wales and see if there's any value on the DRF Sportsbook boosts that we have live right now, and also to see what the play is for Game 1 of the FIFA World Cup between USA and Wales. So, Titans-Packers is the game here tonight. Titans come into this one +3 on the road in Lambeau Field. Unfortunately, folks, there's been a lot of talk about snow. There's been a lot of talk about what's happening in Buffalo. Green Bay tonight will not be a Snow Bowl, and I know none of us were expecting it, but still a little bit of a bummer. But after losing 5 straight, the Packers looked lost. Then all of a sudden the Packers go out and they beat the Dallas Cowboys in kind of a really good game, and Aaron Rodgers after the game said, "We're not dead yet." And now the Packers hosting the Titans, the AFC South leading Titans, and they're 3-point favorites. And I don't agree with that. And I don't know if the public necessarily agrees with that, as 55% of the public is on the Titans to cover this one. And it's really interesting matchup. Derrick Henry, since week 3, has been one of, if not, he's first in, I believe, every major statistical category when you take out the first 3 weeks. But he's been the most productive back. He's had a 200-yard game. He's looked extremely solid. And this is a Green Bay defense that ranks 30th in rush DVOA. This is an overall unit that's technically in the bottom half of the league. They're 17th in overall DVOA. This is a Packers defense that we thought was going to be one of the league's best. And I should know, they're on my fantasy team, and they have done nothing for me. This isn't a great defense. And they're not great against stopping the run. They allow 4.8 yards per rush. That's 27th in the league. And they're going up against Derrick Henry and just one of the most potent, one of the most powerful running backs, one of the best rushing attacks in all of the National Football League. And the Packers are getting 3 points after being one of the worst teams for a 5-week stretch. And arguably they should have lost last week. They should be coming into this one on a 6-game losing streak. And I think if they lose, they're not favored in this game, which is insane to me that one play, that one 4th down conversion that didn't get converted is creating the Packers to be a 3-point home favorite. I'm all off the train. I'm completely off the hype train of the Green Bay Packers. I don't think they are a good team. The defense is lackluster. The offense is lackluster. They just released Amari Rodgers and Kylan Hill. Granted, those weren't 2 big players, but that's a wide receiver that's no longer on the team, and this is a team that's strapped for good wide receivers. Granted, I know Amari Rodgers wasn't a good wide receiver. But then on the other side, the Tennessee defense has been playing lights out. This is a Packers rush offense that just had over 200 yards last week against the Dallas Cowboys. The double-head monster, the 2-headed monster in the backfield between Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon tore up the Dallas defense. But this is a Tennessee team that comes in not allowing over 100 yards rushing the last 3 games. Tennessee's defense is playing really well. Their offense is playing just good enough. They're not fantastic in terms of advanced metrics. They're 16th in rush DVOA and 21st overall offense. But when you just pick out a singular player, Derrick Henry has the ability to be the X factor and to be the game breaker the Titans need to go into Lambeau and win this game. And this is huge, the fact that the Titans defense has been playing so well as of late. Like I said, 3 straight games not allowing a team over 100 yards rushing. And over the last 5 years, if you bet on an underdog that came into the game with that type of trend, you would be up 29.5 units. So if you bet $10 on every single time that happened over the last 5 seasons, you would have won $290, $290 plus dollars, which is awesome, $295 to be exact. And that'd be a pretty good payday. So there's things that really play to the Titans' advantage. But what to watch for, one of the biggest things that plays to the Packers' advantage that I want to mention, even though I'm all over Titans plus 3 in this one. Tennessee's 0-11 against the spread in road games against teams that don't force turnovers. The exact wording is teams that force 1 or less turnover a game in the second half of a season since 1992. A large time frame, kind of a smaller sample, but 11 games, double digits, and they're 0-11 in all of them. Just an interesting little note. It's something that happens, and that could just be coincidence 11 times, but kind of interesting that Tennessee doesn't capitalize against teams that don't. Very interesting stat. But I wanted to throw that out there because it's not often you get a rating of 4 with an 0-11 type of against the spread record. But with all that being said, it's Tennessee plus 3, folks. Tennessee is going to go into Lambeau. I think they win this game outright. I think Derrick Henry's going to have himself a fantastic game. I think the Titans are the better team. They have a better defense. Quarterback advantage goes to the Green Bay Packers, of course, with Aaron Rodgers. Ryan Tannehill's not that great. That's why they have the 21st best offense according to DVOA. But to me, the Packers aren't a better team. The Packers are coming off of a great win, don't get me wrong. But, like, come on. You're telling me that barely win was good. It just doesn't make sense to me. And you look over here, I mean, Green Bay's been outscored on average by 3 points per game. This is a fantastic Tennessee rush defense, allowing just 3.9 yards per carry, one of the tops in all of the NFL. It's top 10 for sure. Passing, they can got a little bit, 6.7 yards they allow per pass. And overall, they allow 5.8 yards per play, mostly because of that passing statistic. Offensively, they tear teams up rushing the football, 4.4 yards. And if you look over here, our power line doesn't like a lot of value on the Packers. But our game simulators both like Tennessee to win. And when both game simulators are on the same thing, I tend to agree with that just a little bit. So give me Titans plus 3, and I'm feeling really good about it. And then moving from there, I said Derrick Henry's going to be the X factor, right? I think Derrick Henry continues to have a fantastic performance against the Packers, and his over-under is set at 100.5 yards. Now, am I going to go that he's going to get triple digits in rush yards? Of course I am. He's gone over triple digits 5 times this season. Over 50% of the time, he's gone over 100 rush yards. Out of the 9 games, 5 times, one of them he's gone over 200 yards. And he averages a buttload of carries, folks. He averages 22.4 carries per game at 4.5 yards per carry. And not only that, he averages 102 yards per game. He is coming off his worst game, his second worst game of the season. He only had 53 rush yards on 19 attempts. But that was against the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos are the best defense in the entire NFL. It's a shame that they don't have a quarterback that can throw the football, but I won't get into my Russell Wilson diatribe on this one. But Derrick Henry's just been tearing up the league since week 3, averaging triple digits in running the football. And he's facing off, and like we said earlier, he's facing off against a Green Bay defense who's not good at stopping the run. They're 17th overall in defense, but the key is they're 30th in rush DVOA. Their strength to get them all the way up to 17th is defending the pass. And when Ryan Tannehill is your quarterback, you're perfectly fine with just handing the ball off to Derrick Henry 30 times a game and letting him do the work. So that's why I'm all over Derrick Henry over 100.5 rush yards. I think he'll get around 120, somewhere around that range, and I think he'll probably see about 25 to 30 carries. I think they're going to run him a lot. And a little bit of a different thing here. We're going to jump into our best bets recap here. I'm showing my hand on what we're going to talk about with USA Wales. I think that's a tie, plus 200. That's the odds at DRF Sportsbook. But first, the Titans plus 3. That's what I'm all over. And Derrick Henry over 100.5 rush yards. Feel really confident about both of those. And on Monday night, we went 2-1. So we're slowly clawing back at that overall football record. We'll get there, folks. We'll get there. But a little bit of a rough stretch that we've had over the last 2 weeks. But that brings us into USA-Wales, FIFA World Cup, first game of the World Cup for both USA and Wales. In USA, the men's national team plus 155 to win this one. A tie is plus 200, and Wales is all the way at plus 220. But before we jump into what's going to happen between the men's national team and Wales, it's going to be an interesting game, and it's going to be very interesting to see how USA comes into this game. They've been in poor form. They've, I believe, not won their last 3 matches. They got blown out by Japan, if I recall correctly. They had a really poor 0-0 draw against Saudi Arabia, I believe it was, coming into this. And Greg Berhalter's all in on Wales. He had a quote earlier, a couple days ago, I think, and this is his quote, I think that, at least to the American media, I think Wales is underrated. This was from Monday. When I look at their squad, it's basically a Premier League squad. Greg Berhalter has high praise for Wales coming into this game, and he's going to need his team to play at an exceptionally high level. They haven't won over their last 3. I believe they're 0-1-2 or 0-2-1. They haven't looked good, and in 2022, they haven't looked much better. They've only scored 18 goals in the calendar year, led by Jesus Ferreira, their striker, who's had 5. Christian Pulisic, the boy wonder, Captain America, has netted 4, but they just haven't really had a lot of offensive ability. They were keen in CONCACAF to get up to a 1-0 lead and just kind of sit back. They've struggled to score even in the CONCACAF qualifiers and then in their tune-up games leading into this, which is why they're in poor form coming into this one. And I think it all has to do with the fact that they don't necessarily have a premier top flight striker or a striker that's in great form. Jesus Ferreira comes into this one not in the best form. He does have Gio Reyna and Christian Pulisic on the wings really creating opportunities for him and bringing it in, but he's not that top flight striker that I think USA fans really want and really desire, especially when you have players like Gio Reyna and Christian Pulisic that are creating opportunities, and Pulisic has been absolutely phenomenal. It's been an interesting couple year of soap opera with Chelsea and seeing what's happening there. But Christian Pulisic is expected to be one of the better players for this USA team alongside the likes of Tyler Adams, Weston McKennie, Gio Reyna's in there. Will be interesting to see what this team is. It's a young team that has a lot of potential. Is Greg Berhalter the one to tap into that potential? He hasn't been so far, and this is an offensive struggle. It's been an offensive struggle throughout. There's a DRF Sportsbook boost. We'll break into if these are 2 good odds. DRF Sportsbook, we have a 50% boost on USA to win the group. England is by far the favorite to win this group. This group consists of England, USA, Wales, and Iran. USA, the second favorite to win the group at plus 500. And it's been boosted to plus 900. Now, I don't know if that's necessarily that looks like some fantastic value. And if USA is able to beat Wales, pick up the 3 points, and then able to beat Iran and get up 3 points there, and you hopefully draw against England and you get a point there. So then you're sitting at 7 points and you hope England just trips up somewhere. Maybe it's against Wales. Maybe it's probably not against Iran. But, USA is the second best team according to FIFA World Cup rankings. They're the 16th best team in the nation internationally. I think Wales is a few spots behind them. So, there's a chance that they can win this, but they're going to need some help. And I don't think, at plus 900, throw $10 down, you get a $100 payout and you're having yourself a good day. Maybe that's worth it if you're okay with losing that $10. I'm not all in on USA to win this group. I think they can get out of this group. I think they have the capabilities. I think it's a huge disappointment if they don't get out of this group. They need to get out of this group, and they have the ability to. Will Greg Berhalter get in there? Will they have the type of play they need out of Jesus Ferreira or whoever is at the striker position? I don't know. This is a 4-3-3 lineup, 4 on the back line, 3 midfielders, 3 forwards. Gio Reyna, Christian Pulisic on the wings with a striker in Jesus Ferreira. Jesus Ferreira is going to have some good capitalizing moments in order for USA to kind of, I think, have an opportunity to win this group. And the most interesting one is they've boosted this one from 350 to plus 700. The USA USA to score the most goals in this entire group. Like I said, they scored 18 goals in the entire calendar year. They come into this one without a win over their last 3 games. Their offense has looked poor. They are in bad form. Jesus Ferreira, I believe he was with FC Dallas and MLS. He hasn't been in fantastic form. Pulisic, hasn't been in amazing form in the Premier League. Gio Reyna, for all that I know about Gio Reyna, I don't think he's been in, top flight form either. So you're really stretching it if you think if they're going to be, the number one scorer in this group. England has Harry Kane. England at one point was the favorite to win the entire World Cup. They come into this one a little bit in bad form, but they have the capability too, and they're a little bit more veteran-led and a little bit older and better. And then Wales even too. Gareth Bale has 40 international goals in his international career. Wales could do it. I mean, heck, Wales might beat USA in this game. It's a very interesting first-round matchup, but that brings us into breaking down this game as a whole. USA is favored at plus 155 to win. A tie is set at plus 200, and Wales at plus 220 to win. It will be interesting to see who is in goal for the United States. They left Zach Steffen off the roster, which wasn't necessarily a huge surprise, but now it's a question of, is it Horvath? I think Johnson. Who's going to be in there? And he's going to have, whoever's in between the pipes is going to have a difficult task, as they are facing off against Gareth Bale, a really good striker who's coming off of a time with his Real Madrid to Tottenham. And then he just netted a fantastic goal in the MLS final. I know we all care deeply about the MLS Cup final here, but Gareth Bale had a really fantastic goal. But he's been kind of in bad form there, but he plays his best when he reps his country. And so whoever's in between the pipes is going to have their hands full stopping Gareth Bale for an entire 90 minutes. And on the other side, Pulisic and Reyna are going to be key in creation. Are they going to be able to draw the defense out, stretch them out a little bit, and let Jesus Ferreira work in the middle? Will Pulisic do what he always does and just take on defenders one-on-one, use his speed, use his athleticism, and just create chances? I think from a talent perspective, from top to bottom, left to right, USA has the advantage, but it's going to be key. Can they step up? Can they play in this huge moment? This is their first, I think, the first World Cup for the entire lineup, except for one. I don't even know. I think 99% of this team, this is their first World Cup. So it's going to be really interesting to see what that happens. For Wales, like I said, Gareth Bale is going to be important for them. He's going to have to net 1, maybe 2 in order for Wales to win this game. And keep an eye on Brennan Johnson in the midfield. He might be a big contributor to this attack as well. I've been reading a lot, seeing his name a lot in mentions, whether it's Welsh reporting, whether it's American reporting. Brennan Johnson seems to be a name to keep an eye on. USA has the talent advantage. Do they have the coaching advantage? I don't know. But Wales has the best player, I think, in this game in Gareth Bale. Maybe I'm overestimating him. Maybe I'm stuck in 2012. Maybe I'm stuck in 2014. But I think the USA is going to have their hands full against Bale, who always plays well when he reps the Welsh colors. Without proper attackers, without a fantastic striker, without a top flight striker, I think USA and Wales will draw this match. I think 1-1 draw. So I'm going to tie at plus 200 is my bet. And the over-under set at 2.5 goals. I'm going under. I think under 2 goals, 2.5 goals is the play. Will be interesting to see how this game plays out. But I think it's going to be, this is the first match. It's been a very interesting lead up to the World Cup. They just stopped playing in their leagues like a week ago. So, then you're coming here and we might see ugly games here to start this World Cup. And because of that, I don't think we're going to see an offensive onslaught. I think the keepers for both sides are solid enough. I think they let one by. I don't think either team's going to have a true advantage. And I think we're underestimating Wales. I'm kind of on the side of Greg Berhalter. I'm kind of nervous about this game. I think Wales has what it takes to win. They've been together longer. They're not young. This is a United States team that 99% is playing in the first World Cup. Will be interesting to see. Key players to watch: Brendan Johnson, Jesus Ferreira. Ferreira's going to need to have a fantastic game if they want to win this one. So thank you so much for tuning in to DRF Sportsbook Daily. We'll be back next Thursday, a week from today, breaking down Thursday games. Actually, we'll be back next Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, next Thanksgiving, day before Thanksgiving, day after Thanksgiving, breaking down everything that is to do with World Cup. We're going to have the U.S. men's national team taking on England. We're going to have college basketball tournaments on Thanksgiving. We're going to have college football. We're going to have amazing Thanksgiving Day NFL action. We have a chocked full schedule coming up for next Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Set your calendars now. Can't wait to see you then. Be profitable and have a wonderful rest of your week.